Alright. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. It is the final match at the end of 7 rounds of Swiss format. We are watching the two players fighting for first place in the entire tournament. Both players, well, to be fair, Pie's on 5 wins, 1 loss in the top left, or Berserker fan. Bottom right side, we've got Patches for Platinum Heroes, who's 6-0. The man who does not know how to change his worker rally point. The man who, when you say, dude, your build orders seem really weird, he will scoff and go, build orders? That's right. The map maker who invented Jungle Maze 2, which is one of the most demented maps created by anyone known to man. It is a map with a roaming Ultralisk that eats units until it gets full. It has a hunger meter that periodically fills up until it runs around eating people's units. We're talking about just a guy who's demented. Essentially, Patches, I was saying earlier, is like a heroic dose of dabs or edibles combined into one StarCraft player slash map maker. I'm pretty sure he's permanently high, and he's going for a double gate on 12, which is one of the silliest openings I've seen in a while. I think it's just more efficient if you go to 14 and then build these 2 gateways, surely. Maybe, I mean, it's going to hit a little bit faster, but boy, is his follow-up going to be hurt. Anyways, he's winning. If he wins this game, he wins the tournament, hands down. Wins the Pig Viewer tournament, the prize of which is being called the biggest piggest for the next week or 2, or the next month until the next tournament. We do one of these tournaments at the end of every month. It's a viewer tournament open to all skill levels, and because it's a Swiss format, it naturally shuffles players to play against peoples of similar ranks. And of course, these guys who've lost no games, or only 1 game in the case of Pie, are now facing each other at the very top end. But even the people who've lost most games up to now are facing other players who've lost most of their games in the bottom of the bracket, and that's what's so fun about a Swiss format. It's best of 1 though, it's brutal, it's a very crazy format, and not only that, we're playing on Green Earth's mod. Keep in mind, Green Earth's mod means these zealots have 10 extra shields. That's right, guys, they spawn just automatically 60 shields rather than 50. I'll hide myself for a second. That's right, 60 shields, 100 hit points. So zealots are buffed in this, but not only that, there is a bunch of crazy changes for all factions. Zerg can get a high-tech upgrade where creep heals units for 5 hit points a second out of combat. You can get hydras on hatchery tech. Queens only cost 100 minerals, and lava inject for 4 lava. But guess what? Chrono boost only costs 25 energy. So you can spam chrono like crazy as Protoss as well. There's already so many chronos. And this 2-gate zealot pressure is going to be absolutely bizarre. Now, he's only scouted in one direction. He's going to try and move, I imagine, through the middle of the map. It looks like he does know it's cross map because he must have spotted the Overlord. So he's going to go pressure. If this gets spotted, it's a disaster. Luckily, it doesn't get spotted. The Zealots go past. They slip by. Yeah, there's a bunch of changes. You can get an upgrade later on where Zealots get bonus shield armor when charging. You can turn Stalkers essentially into a Dragoon with a tiny bit of splash damage, extra range, extra hit points, extra damage, bit of splash damage. There's so many changes. There's so many things. Sentries can heal other units. I can't even name half the changes. Roaches can get bonus armor when they get below half-life. Really cool bonuses. You can see the Queen, not as slow, but she's only got 125 hit points. She has a light tag, and she does a little bit less damage as well. So the Queen's not going to be the same thing for holding this. And you can see Pie right now in massive stress. The Zealot, though, doesn't target the Spine Crawler. The Zealots are just going to fight here against the drones and the Zerglings. Oh, the Zealots. Can they get a lot of kills? The answer is yes. Already 6 drones have gone down. The drones are going to run away. The Queens and the Zergling will finish this off. Those 2 Spines will come up, but dude, Pie's got to be kicking himself. Has gone for a 3rd hatchery here. I think canceling the 3rd is the right call because you've got 9 lava right now. 9 lava. Now, this is not actually a proxy gate. I think Pie thinks they're being proxy 4-gated right now because that's what this kind of feels like. Little do they realize there is a Nexus and probes and a Cybercore coming in behind this. So Pie's like, phew, I survived and I have 3 bases. I must be miles ahead. Little do they know, Patches is like, lol. This is actually got a Nexus, man. I really do. I just feel like every time I watch the way Patches plays this game, I get such meth head vibes. It's just something so methy about the way he plays, you know? I don't even know like how it's so fun and intuitive and super stupid at the same time. Like it's really great. I love it. And that Zealot in a diagonal choke point, the Zerglings just walk right past. One of them apparently not following their Weight Watchers. Their Jenny Craig diet does go down there, but the other 3 do just squeeze right in. That's why you never want to have a choke point on a diagonal, guys. You always want to have an opening. Chat says, yes, I agree, Pig. Very methodical gameplay. Yes, yeah, methodical. That's what you call when you're on a heroic dose of methadone to try and help with your crippling heroin addiction, yes? Anyway, Zergling's going to rotate. More Lings about to come in. Oh, no, oh, no. Doesn't Zealot get in the wall? Not really. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Okay, Pi says, oh, you're going to run Zealots in my base? Who has a whole pack of Zerglings and doesn't give a shit? They're going to run in here. This is a real problem right now. Patches comes out with it. He's going to fight with the Stalker, Probes, and the Zealot. The Lings are going to run around. This is great counter pressure. And this is, of course, allowing Pi to build drones behind it. Hits almost a supply block here. He's trying to build some Overlords. We're going to get 1 or 2 more Probes. But good defense here by Patches. Lots of action here early on. And now Pi is going to go for that Hatchery Tech Hydra Den. You can get Hatchery Tech on Hydra Den, guys, but it takes longer to build. And the upgrades take a bit longer to upgrade. And the upgrades, of course, also only unlock at Lair Tech. But you can also get a Lurker Den at Lair Tech, and you can get the upgrades immediately on Lair Tech. You don't need Hive for Lurker upgrades. Lurkers do a little bit less damage, so they don't... A lot of the theme for Zerg on this patch is the units don't max out quite as powerfully. Like, Ultras start with extra armor on this mod, but they don't get a chitinous plating upgrade. So their max armor in late game is 1 less than what it is in the live version of the game. You can get Lurkers out earlier, Hydras out earlier, but Lurkers are slightly weaker. Hydras, if you build them on Hatchery Tech, won't have the upgrades that make them very good. So it's this like kind of balancing act where Zerg can kind of hit timings a little bit earlier, but they also can't rely on Queens to defend very well because they've got light tags. They get gunned down by Oracles, Hellions, lots of kills, things killed. Queens are much more of a creep spreading support unit. And you've got to rely on more units to actually defend. So it kind of forces Zerg to be a bit more swarmy, a bit more active on the map. And it works out really, really interestingly. We'll see how it works. But Hatchery Tech Hydra timings normally are described as, I believe the last term, a pro gamer, every pro gamer, when they try this, they go, oh, Hatchery Tech Hydra timings must be Imber. And without fail, we always try doing an all-in the first few times we play a Green Earth mod tournament. And then do you know what we end up saying? Hatchery, unupgraded Hydras suck dick, which is something we've known for years. But for some reason, we think, but at Hatchery Tech, they must be better. No, they still cost 100 minerals and 50 gas. They're not a very good unit. I mean, the problem is they're very slow moving, and they only have 5 range. Once they get the movement speed upgrade to 6 range, they become such a more powerful unit. They're not terrible. Obviously, they still have good damage per second. But look at this, guys. Warp efficiency came in, so Patches... In this mod, if you go for the Warp Gate upgrade, you can't get the faster gateways. But Green Earth's done it this way, where he gets faster production, and he's done this. His mod's been like this for a few years. He sees... Patches, of course, does see that the big Hydraling army. Zealots should do okay against the Zerglings. Will they do well against the Hydras? I don't know, man. He's just made Immortality Protocol for the Stalkers. So his Stalkers have just turned into Dragoons. Notice their attack has changed. They have a tiny bit of splash damage, 20 more hit points, 1 more range, and 2 more damage. So they're tankier, more damage, tiny bit of splash damage. These are basically Dragoons from StarCraft 1 now. If you go for this upgrade, you can't get Blink. It's there's exclusive upgrades in this mod. Hydra Bane trying to get in on the front. The Banes get a good hit. Oh no! Patches thought the Banelings weren't going to finish morphing for a while. He's got good Dragoon micro though. Good Dragoon micro pulling back these, but the Ling wraparound is a problem. The splash damage helping though. The splash damage really helps clear those Zerglings. Oh, nicely done. And it looks like the Stalkers / Dragoons are going to be enough to overwhelm this. I don't actually know exactly how the splash damage works. It's meant to be a pretty small amount. But you can see when the Zerglings are very clumped up, you have a lot of these Stalker, I'm going to often call them Dragoons, Dragoon shots. They do stack up, and that's a really good hold for Patches, guys. Patches comes out on top, and you can see Pi's getting desperate. He's not droned his third. I think he could have droned up and taken a lead in this game, but he's very all in right now. And remember, he's playing against a guy who makes Hero look like a calm, organized, and methodical player. Patches with his meth head style, you can rely on him leaving his door open. You can rely on him letting Ling round buys in. And you can see Pi's going to do that. He's going to distract up here. He's like, hello, hello, distraction, sir. Look at me. These Zerglings sacrificing themselves to distract him. Meanwhile, runs in on the other side. Honestly, might have done even more damage if he ran in the base. But look at this. Runs in. He's going to focus that third Nexus down. He's trying to run Lings in at the same time. The Nexus gets killed. The Lings are in the natural. He's in both bases. Oh, he's clicking every Ling inside. Pi F2ing like a mad lad, but he's getting good damage, dude. I thought Pi was way too all in. But Patches, as I said, a man who makes Hero look methodical and organized. Probes trying to fight Zerglings is a crazy decision in the main. That was like 20 Zerglings. He loses most of his mineral line fighting that. Oh no, but he's got so many Zealots. Can he just counterattack? Guys, he has 21 Zealots. Who needs charge when you've got 21 Zealots? What the hell? Dude, Pi needs to build Banelings. This is going to turn into a base trade. If you don't, you need Banelings to clear this. Pi's still in an all-in mindset. He doesn't realize he's about to get hit by about 1 billion Zealots. Dude, is Patches going to win with a mass slow zealot counterattack? No. No, 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 no. 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 Oh my god. Okay, this is getting crazy. The production's all going to go down. I kind of feel like the Zealot Pool might win against, because it's mostly a Zergling army with only like 2 Banes, 3 Banes, and a few Hydras. I think the Protoss army might be better, but oh, there is Hydras and a Spine here. Pi might be able to do this, guys. If Pi can beat him, Pi can deny Patches the tournament win. Pi is the underdog here. Patches is the stronger player. The Banelings get some good connections, but there's so many Zealots. They're still alive. Zerglings are still tearing things down. The rest of the army's coming home. They're trying to come back, but the natural gets ransacked. They are all going down. There's more Zerglings building. Zerglings are not what you really want against Zealots, and that's a real problem. Banelings could work, but you need to group up and morph Banelings elsewhere. I mean, right now, there's almost no economy left for Protoss. Only 23 Probes. There's only 22 for Zerg. And oh no, the Hydras go too far forward. The Zergling's going to try and surround. He's got a few Banes here. Oh my god, the Banelings get okay hits, but not what he really wanted. He wanted to surround those Zealots. Oh my god, what a crazy fight. Oh my god, this is so close. This is so close. This game is absolutely insane. Sorry guys, I'm getting so excited. I'm turning things on and off right now. The Dragoons are all going to go down. Every Dragoon will go down. It's no longer hatchery tech Hydras. They have movement speed, so they are much better than they were earlier because they have that movement speed. But honestly, guys, did this just reset? That Dragoon's going to go down, right? Or it gets away. He's long distance mining his 3rd right now, Patches, because he hasn't reset his workers. And it's 25 probes to 32 drones. 2 base versus 2 base. Wisely, more Hydras are building, but they're not ready yet. Honestly, I think this Zealot attack might do game-ending damage because there's no Banelings for the Zealot. So in low numbers, Hydras are kind of weak. You need a big critical mass of them. Oh my god. This is actually a great attack for Patches, but he shows himself too early. Pull back to the mineral line. You got to get in the mineral line. You got to pull to the mineral line and fight with the drones here as Pi. If you lose your Hydras, you could be in big trouble. He's got to fight for this base though, I think. I think if he fights with drones blocking, he can fight this. He's going to pull away or think about it anyway. Overlord taking damage. The Hydras have got to be careful. Those Zealots can jump on you and, oh, going forward. Bad move. I think. Is it a bad move? This is such a close situation. It's a long rally point for the Protoss. The Zealots, very tanky with that 60 shields. I know 10 shields doesn't sound like a lot, but it matters. And he's going to go Rush Guard shielding, guys. He's going to tech into Rush Guard shielding. This upgrade gives plus 3 armor for 3.5 seconds after charging. And you'll see the Zealots glowing once it comes into effect. Cybercore's being rebuilt because the Cybercore did die at the natural. He could rebuild his wall off, guys, but instead he's going to build the Cybercore here because Patches is clicking buttons, as they say. Not so much organized. It's just kind of panicking. Both players are right now. The Banelings will beat the Zealots, but honestly, if he can avoid just headbutting the Banelings, the Zealots do really well against the other 2 units. Lings and Hydras are both very weak against that upgrade, but fighting before the upgrade is ready could be good for Pi here. Pi cleans up a bunch of these units. Units lost type 1500 in favor of Patches. He's going to turn and fight. Hydras are expensive. Hydras are really expensive. I mean, Stalkers are as well, but this looks like it's good for Patches, I think. Picking off a bunch of those Hydras. He really wants those Reddit point Hydras so badly. Oh, the Zerglings. Individual Zerglings getting shot down. The speedy zones on this map, absolutely wild. Observers are there. 3rd base coming up here for Patches. So it's 3 hatchery to 3 hatchery. There was a massive amount of mining time. Remember, these workers were all long distance mining on the natural for a long time there. And now there's 4 Zealots, 5 Stalkers. Rush Guard shielding not quite ready. What is this? 5 Hydras and 18 Zerglings. This is a crazy counterattack right now for Pi. Guys, we are in an absolutely insane game right now. The viewer tournament delivering today as these guys just go for the throat. The Zealots get surrounded. Patches might die to this counterattack. He's up in economy, but he needs time for his upgrades. And he's not being given that time. The Stalker micro is really, really good. Remember, Stalkers have 7 range, so they outrange the Hydras by 1. They have a lot of hit points, a little bit of splash damage as well, just a tiny bit. And oh man, what a crazy situation this is. But this is an overextension for Pi. Pi's going to lose the Hydras, man. Yeah, the Zealots come in. They clean this up. That's a hold. 3rd base is able to finish. And Pi's still building Zerglings. Oh no. Look at the upgrades, guys. Immortality Protocol. +1. Warp Gate Efficiency, which makes those gateways build incredibly quickly. There's still only 3 gateways up. 4th gateway building. But Rush Guard shielding's kicked in now as well. +1 arm is coming in. 1/1 upgrades will be huge. So Pi looks like he's going all in. The problem is, Hydra Bane, I think, scales better as the army gets a bit bigger. Zealot Stalker does pretty well in these tiny little scrappy fights. I think a Ling run by into the main and the natural could be good. The problem is the Zealot rally kind of naturally defends it because the unit's popping out from there. A few sentries building here as well. He's going to go for some sentries because why not? Remember, sentries heal your units on autocast by default. So sentries are actually a very good unit just to have like healing your units in the middle of a battle. There you go. You can see them healing those stalkers there. The zealots charge in. That +3 armor is really big. It does wear off there after a few seconds, but the banelings were too late for Pi. The banelings were too late. The zealots with the charge bonus and the sentry healing. You could see the upgrades coming together for Patches, and it feels like Pi is run out of steam a little bit. Now, in terms of things that Patches could go for, or Pi could go for, he could get the upgrade after Baneling Speed to get +5 hit points on the Banelings. That's not built in with the Baneling Speed upgrade on this mod. At Hive Tech, Hydras can get a +20 hit point upgrade as well, but that's miles away. We're nowhere near Hive Tech in this game. We're going to see Double Evo. I think Double Evo is usually one of the worst things you can do with Zerg versus Protoss, but I understand he's got to do something to add some longevity to his force, so he's trying to go Lurkaden Spines. Oh, I'd love to see more drones for Pi. I think if you're going to transition, you need a lot more drones. Patches ain't going to give you that time, though. Colossus Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. No doubt we'll see Colossus building soon. Stalker Zealot Sentry counterattack. And with 1-1 upgrades now against 0-0 Zerg, I don't know if a couple Hydras and Zergs can defend this. I think Patches may have just, off of the 12-12 double gateway, 6 Zealot pressure opening. Absolutely insane opening pressure. He's going to get in a really good position for himself now. Gets the 3rd hatchery snipe. Drones are transferring to the 4th. Hydraling Bane trying to gather up in the natural. What? The sentries are here with the Guardian Shield. Oh, man. The Hydra's there. But yeah, Guardian Shield's available. The healing's good. You could force field some of these units. This is a hard pressure to deal with. Really hard. Creep Tumor's going down to the observers. Clearing this up. Where's the force fields? Oh, he goes for some, but the Banelings get in the middle. Great Banelings, honestly. Guardian Shield comes up, so the Hydras are going to struggle to kill these units, but that was not the fight Patches was looking for. Oh my god. Pi just slaughtered his whole army. Patches, that was a bad fight. It was a really bad fight, guys. Those were not great force fields. He ran around hitting Creep Tumors. He should have just gone for it. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, so Pi has one last desperate all-in, I guess, in him. He's making some lurkers on the front. There's only one observer. Oh, they're just out of vision of each other, guys. Honestly, without Banes, these Zealots win this fight. If they just they could kill everything here. But he sees the Zealots. He kind of distracts a little bit, does Pi. The Lings are going to go in on the other side. The wall off never got sealed. I can't believe it. Oh, but his units are getting jumped in the middle. Pi's going to run away. His Lings will do crazy damage, but Patches actually notices and pulls them back. The Lurker goes down, though. The Lings are doing good economic damage, but Pi is fighting an uphill battle right now. What a barn burner of a game. As scrappy as Pi's being, I don't think he can deal with Colossus Zealot now. Not with the upgrade differential. 2 extended thermal lance Colossus coming in. 10 probes go down, and that's nice damage. 4th Nexus is coming up, though. 4th hatchery, or 3rd hatchery even, I guess, is what it was originally. Just now being rebuilt. 48 probes, a 16 worker advantage for Protoss, and Patches creates the chaos and then navigates the chaos with the experience of a man who has sailed the cheesy, chaotic waters many times in his life. Oh my. Needed a bit of a bevy there. Some peach iced tea there, yum yum. Gateway is still in gateway form, as they have to be, remember? You get this upgrade, and it's exclusive. There's quite a few exclusive upgrades, which are really fun in this mod. And you couldn't actually get this upgrade, this Rush Guard shielding, if you went for Warp Gates. Another Stalker moving around. In one of the much earlier versions of Green Earth's mod, you actually couldn't get Warp Gate. It was just removed from the game. So you had to play this style, but instead he realized, oh, you know what? Why not just let people choose which path? If they want to play the Gateway Man style, get these cool bonus upgrades and stuff. You can also, because you're producing out of gateways, you can get a Kaidaran amulet. So you can actually make it so your units spawn with your High Templar spawn with 75 energy. There's also a late game upgrade. I think it's on the Templar Archives or Fusion, or maybe Fleet Beacon. I'm not sure. There's an upgrade that gives double energy regen rate to all Protoss spellcasters, which is actually really cool. Obviously, with no High Templar in this game, he's not really thinking about that. He's got a good Colossus Sentry army. He's going to go for the burning upgrade on the Colossus. It stops units from healing while they're being attacked by Colossus. Really good against Marauders, against Terran. Kind of a niche upgrade, not really important against Zerg. He's just clicking it because he's way ahead. And Pi will realize he has been out-microed, out-macroed, and most importantly, out-chaos. Patches, the meth head, brings it out. He becomes the biggest dick as he holds up his chalice and he drinks it as the champion of today's Pig Viewer tournament. What an absolute barn burner. I could not have scripted that any better. I was casting that as if I was going to put it on YouTube because I was like, yeah, I never put viewer tournament games on YouTube, but you know what? These guys are both pretty fun players. It's on Green Nuts mod. We'll see if we see a good game. I'm posting that to YouTube, guys. That was friggin' awesome. I hit the record button, and I'm glad I did. Shout out to Patches for playing Legendary Game, and I'm really happy we played today's viewer tournament on Green Nuts mod for a change. Nice breath of fresh air. Hats off to Patches for winning the tournament. GG, well played, mate.